What time is it? It's Packard Folks at time. Hat? Check. Shirt? Check. Pants? Optional. Mug? Double check. Check us out at cafepress.com/PackardPokesat where you can get all this great merchandise and more.
Do you like Packard Pokesat and want to hear it on demand and on the go? Download the free app today at Stitcher.com. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
This is Packard Pokesat, and I'm poking at your news. Hello, everybody. This is Packard Pokesat, the Midweek Show. This is Season 5, Episode 5. So it's 5 and 5. Yay.
I think it's episode 4.
No, it's 5. We had 4 for last week. I checked. I double checked.
All right.
I appreciate you checking, though.
All right. I know we, never mind, we kind of skipped around that first week, so.
Yeah, because we skipped that one midweek show. And so we had our 500, or 5 series 1 on 5, so. And I checked it on the against what's in the big old computer here, and it says 5. I'm pretty certain. Yep, 5.
Numbers are only a suggestion.
It's just suggested,
5, 6, whatever works.
Right, exactly. Before we get started tonight, I want to say a couple things here. There's a big hurricane going on down by Texas and Louisiana. If you want to help with Hurricane Harvey, go to the FEMA.gov/hurricane-Harvey, or if you want to donate to the Red Cross, that's the www.redcross.org/donate/Hurricane Harvey. And speaking of donations, one of our fellow atheists is having some serious issues right now, and that'd be the Quiet Atheist. He's having some financial issues right now, and he might be evicted from his home. If you would like to give him a few dollars to try to help him out, I wish I could. I'm just in a bad situation myself currently, so if you can help, please do go to paypal.me/thequietatheist. That's TheQuietAtheist. If you can help them out with $1 or $2, that'd be great. Connie, what do you have for a story for us tonight?
Well, this one comes from Newsweek. I found it on Yahoo News, but that's the original source. FRBs.
FRBs? Is that a dish? I mean, it's served with French fries, right?
FRBs as opposed to regular honeybees.
Oh,
I don't know. No. Repeating radio signals coming from a distant galaxy have been detected by astronomers.
Really?
Yep. From a mysterious source in a dwarf galaxy 3 billion light years away with a B have been detected. They were using the Green Bank telescope in West Virginia, and scientists with the Breakthrough Listen Initiative recorded 15 repeating fast radio bursts. That's the FRB part. On August 26th. Yeah, the discovery was announced as an astronomer's telegram and will be described in further detail in forthcoming scientific articles. They last just a few milliseconds and appear to be coming from deep space because they have an extremely short duration, and because scientists usually find them in data only after the event has taken place. Pinpointing their origin has not been possible since they've started finding them over 15 years ago. About 24 of FRBs have been recorded. Most of them are one-off events, but in announcing in the journal Nature in 2016, they had found a repeating signal, FRB 121102. By monitoring and tracking the repeating burst, they were able to trace it back to a dwarf galaxy 3 billion light years away. Still, the source remains elusive, and no one knows if that region of space could be producing the signal. A lot of times this is done because of like the supernova thing, but that tends to be a one-time event. But this has been, they've found this transmission several times.
Is it in the same sector of space, too?
Yes. But they did say, too, that they don't think it's aliens. Yeah.
You know what it is? If it does turn out to be aliens, they want our secret KFC recipe. That's what it is. They're looking for the KFC recipe. They've been looking all over the galaxy for it, and they discovered that we have it, and they want it. Well, I got news for you, aliens. You can't have the KFC recipe. That is a secret.
Can we send them Trump with a bucket of KFC, and maybe they'll be happy?
We don't want to go to intergalactic war. I'm just saying.
I think that would be a win-win myself.
It's got to be the aliens.
They want our KFC. Is what it
That's
was.
right.
You go back home to his home planet with the tribbles.
You know that someone's going to say that it is aliens, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, that's what I was looking for. It's like in the last paragraphs. Yes. No, we don't think it's aliens.
we don't think it's alien. I will only bet you they don't think it's aliens either. Because, you know, we covered a story about like this not that long ago where they said that they thought that these particular signals were aliens, but they're, you know, they weren't aliens. They just like, oh, well, everybody just kind of like went off on their own tangents, and it's like, no, this was just some kind of dwarf star going crazy or some.
Yeah, one of the last things that they suggest here was it could be from a young, highly magnetized neutron star, but so far nothing like that has been detected in this region of space.
A magnetized neutron star?
A magnetized neutron star. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so. Must be really attractive.
It's playing, right. Come here, get away with the neighboring star. I want you. I don't want you.
You know, they say opposites attract.
There you go. And no, attract, but they kill each other, right?
Yeah.
That explains so much of my first marriage. It's
oh my.
I was a star and he was a black hole, and it was
there you go.
Sorry. Feeling rather spicy today. I just know that he doesn't listen, so
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You'll get a message on your Facebook page going, why were you calling me a black hole?
Well, it depends on how I feel that day. I might just tell him, go get a mirror.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, cold. Love it.
Anyway, yeah, we were talking about space, you know, best served, revenge is best served cold.
Unless you're Klingon, revenge is best served immediately.
Still squirming. Eat it while it's alive. Yeah.
That's right. Matt, do you have a story for us tonight?
Yes, I do, actually.
Cool. What is it?
All right, this comes from USA Today. Mattis, he's the defense secretary. He's announced yesterday that transgender troops will be allowed to continue serving in the military pending the results of a study by experts.
Nice.
The announcement follows an order from President Trump, who first announced a tweet declaring that transgender service members can no longer serve in the military, effectively reversing an Obama administration policy. The order also affects the Department of Homeland Security, which houses the Coast Guard.
Mm-hmm.
And he quotes, once the panel reports its recommendations and following my consultation with the Secretary of Homeland Security, I will provide my advice to the President concerning implementation of his policy direction. In the interim, current policy with respect to currently serving members will remain in place. But that move buys time for the Pentagon to determine how and if it will allow thousands of transgendered troops to continue to serve, whether they will receive medical treatment or how they will be discharged.
The fact is that Trump tried to push this through. He didn't realize, or maybe he did and he didn't care, is that when they go to replace all these people, it's going to cost the government even more money to replace them because they are trained to do certain jobs. And if they kick them out, then they have to retrain somebody else to do all that stuff again. It's like $20,000 or more per person that they've already invested in these people.
Right.
Soldiers are skilled labor. They
are very skilled. Yeah, they are very skilled labor, very skilled. I like the fact is that he is saying, hey, I'm going to still let these people serve.
Right.
You know, and the thing is, though, all right, I've got two separate opinions on this. One is that I'm glad he's letting these people serve because they have earned the right to serve. There are people who've been in there for like up to 20 years or more, and they've had no problems. On the other hand, if it's going against a directive from the president because he disagrees with the president, that's a different story. You know, that's why I'm a little mixed on this. Do I agree with the president? Absolutely not. I'm sorry. I had to choke there a little bit on the word president. Sorry. He disagreed with the orange hairdo that just happened to be in the Oval Office right now. And while I applaud his decision to do so, I mean, we base our laws and our defense and everything like this has to come from the top down. So I like the fact that he's doing this because it's the right thing to do. I mean, is this going to become internal anarchy, civil war?
Well, chances are Trump will probably end up firing this guy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Fires everybody. If he doesn't like him, he fires them.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's what's going to happen too. I mean,
most likely that'll probably happen.
Yeah.
But see, Mattis, ever since Trump tweeted this crap, he was playing it really cool. He's been like, until this is actually on my desk, and I think that he's trying not to stir the pot. And honestly, I'd rather have him in there because he seems to have a fairly little head about it than for him to just go off and say, no, Trump, I'm going to, and like you said, then he'll be fired, and then who knows who we'll get.
Right.
Yeah, then it'll be some real jerk that'll agree with them that it's an ass kisser or something.
Yep.
And then everything will get screwed up.
If you're curious, the study that you're talking about is from the Rand Corp, which was done last year. The Pentagon commissioned a study by them to examine the effects of military readiness to allow transgender troops to serve openly and the cost of providing them medical treatment. The study estimated that few to several thousand transgender troops that are on active duty force of 1.3 million researchers found that paying for their healthcare needs would amount to only $8 million per year, and their effective readiness would be negligible. Considering that the government has a budget in the billions, $8 million is a drop in the bucket by comparison. And we covered it a couple weeks ago when all this stuff came out, that they spend more on Viagra than they do on getting these troops the medical treatment that they deserve. I had a conversation with somebody about this online. If you've already served or you are serving, you deserve to get the medical treatments that you deserve to get because you are working for the government at that point. The government owns you at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
They should be able to get their medical treatment. And the fact is that there are several people right now, as I understand it, that are already got with the ACLU, I believe, they've got a lawsuit already in the works to go up against the federal government and Trump, basically. I'm not sure if it specifically names Trump in it. I don't have the story in front of me, but they're suing the federal government and Trump, possibly, based on the fact is that because he came up with this weird objective of whatever he wants to do,
but all this has to, but that's a problem. He tweeted it, and he's saying, oh, well, they can't do it anymore. They can't be in the military. Well, you can't do that. It has to go through a process in order for that to happen.
Right, which he's finally done. But the fact is, though, because he's already now done this has become rule. They were supposedly supposed to stop, but if the defense secretary is saying, hey, this makes no sense and we shouldn't do this, so we're going to let these people serve anyway, then again we might be in a constitutional crisis at this point. I don't know if it's constitutional. Actually, it's a situation where the Defense Department is going up against what the president says. I don't want to say coup, but maybe we need to do that.
I was just going to say, though, are they accepting new transgender troops? And actually, that is something that's on hold.
While we are poking at your news, you can poke us at Facebook and Twitter, or poke us with an email at ppapodcast@gmail.com, or leave us a message at 662-709-PPAP. Join us live on YouTube/Packard Pokset on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. Be part of the conversation by live chatting with us during the show. Enjoy the show? Help support us by becoming a monthly patron at patreon.com/Packard Pokset. Or look awesome by buying something at cafepress.com/Packard Pokset. No money, no problem. You can help us by sharing the show with friends and rate us on iTunes and Stitcher. For everyone that shares and rates us, you kick ass.
The Atheists,
the Bible,
and No Wardrobe, the podcast.
Wait a minute. No wardrobe? You mean we're going to be naked while we do this?
Well, seeing how I'm an atheist and I'm reading the Bible, and since clothes are flammable,
Fire! Fire! Fire!
I thought it might be a good idea to take them all off first.
Naked or not, follow along as we read, analyze, and try to keep you from falling asleep as we go through this boring-ass book.
Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spreaker. Who knows? We may even be on YouTube someday. I've got a story here. It's the coach, not a coach, Dave Doublemeyer. So let me put him up on the screen and we'll talk about what he's got to say here. Okay, this is Dave Doublemeyer, the coach, not a coach. And now this is about, he's talking about the hurricane relief effort to teach people to depend on God and not the government. This is not going to go well.
We find the greatest work gets done Christian to Christian.
No, we find the greatest work that gets done is just people to people. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean that you get things done faster
or more efficiently.
Or more efficiently. You just have the same club,
So Chad's working right now. Ray Gano's with us today. I'm going to bring Ray up. Ray lives down that area. Our best work is done church to church.
Really? You're the best work is done church to church. Okay. With the stuff that's going on down there, there's like I don't know, like half a dozen or more of those churches were only opening those doors to those hurricane victims. So they are not doing anything, basically. And Joel Osteen basically got shamed into opening his doors because he didn't want to open his doors to the public because he can hold up to, 16,000 people or more?
It's 17,000.
17,000, thank you. 17,000 people, and he got shamed into doing it. Osteen, the community is giving you tax breaks. And why aren't you opening your doors to these people? And he's like, well, I'm not going to do it. And then all of a sudden, as soon as it started going viral, then I guess I got to do it because money talks and nonsense walks.
We like to take our supplies. See, everybody could go right now and donate all kinds of money to the Red Cross and to the Salvation Army. And they're doing good work.
I agree. Well, except for Salvation Army, I don't support the Salvation Army. They are a bigoted group. They don't allow gays to stay in their shelters or work there. They're a bigoted group. I don't give to the Salvation Army.
Well, what we are going to do, we are going to take our supplies and we're going to go to a church, partner with a church down there, and hand out relief supplies through the church, which builds relationships in the community.
Which means you're going to hold the item hostage until you give them a sermon first, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much like in what they do in Africa. They pretty much hold food until they give the sermon.
Yeah, you can have this sandwich, but you got to hear the word of God first.
Well, it's even if they don't make you listen to a sermon. The fact is that, you're looking for your reward here on earth. Guess what? You got it. All right. I think there's probably a verse in the Bible about that.
Yeah.
Let me think. This is about them getting their own glory, and it's about them putting a face, the church's face, on what's being handed out. So thereby, somebody might say, "Well, maybe I don't even want to go to that church, but I might give them money, or I might, they were good people. Go ahead and go there." It's still about numbers for this guy.
We think that's far more important than the Red Cross coming by and giving you a meal.
Wait, what? What? It's more important than the Red Cross coming by and giving you a meal because you have to give it served from a church? What?
There's no gospel that comes with the Red Cross.
See, I called it. I called it. Did I not call it? I said they're going to hold it hostage until they give you a sermon before they give you the goods. And he's like, oh, you got to get the gospel while you're doing it. See, I called it. I haven't even watched this yet.
People down in Houston, I'm going to tell you, they're going to be open to the gospel for sure. And those of you right now say, Coach, golly, I can't go, but I would like to help. Please don't send your donations to the Salvation Army. And please don't send them to the American Red Cross. Please don't do that.
Where he said, don't send it to the Red Cross, send donations to the Red Cross. Taking food items and whatnot down there, that's okay. But I mean, the fact is that they can do more with the dollar bills than you can because they buy so much in bulk. They can get more for the few dollars that you send them. So please do donate to the Red Cross. Salvation Army, maybe not quite so much. I mean, you can if you want to, but I would not recommend that. That's the only thing I think I'm going to ever agree with him on this point.
Please send them to us, and we will take what we get, and we will take it from Christian to Christian.
Send us your money. and then we'll give the money to the Christians.
Yeah,
Come
because
on.
because Texas is such a non-religious state, as we all know.
Yeah.
This is critical. Now is the time for people to be taught to depend on the church, depend on God, not on the government.
No thanks.
No, thank you. Depend on God. Well, all right. You guys, the religious people, think that God is in control of everything. Then God sent the hurricane. So then we should rely on the same God that's sending the hurricane to kill everybody? That doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, it does say in Isaiah that when God gets angry, earthquakes happen. So maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Part of the reason that the first responders were so overwhelmed is because of the very libertarian, or pull yourself up by your bootstraps, GOP mindset down there in Texas. They, I don't think that they were properly funding their infrastructure and things like that. And it's part of the reason it was so bad. And guess what, Dobmeyer? I want you to look into the faces of those people who were stuck on the roofs of their houses and who lost family, and tell them how what's most important is your God, because they were probably praying really flipping hard to God, and they just lost everything. You arrogant piece of crap.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. They want you to depend on a myth and a fairy tale.
They want your money.
Yeah, and they want your money. They want you to give your money to them so that they can line their pockets. That's what this is all it's about. They're using a disaster to line their pockets.
Yep. Religion is the opium of the masses.
Very good. Yes, I've heard that statement before.
It's critical for us to get involved with this.
Yeah, this guy he's a pile of crap. He is a big pile of crap. Atheist Ranger, what story have you got for us tonight?
Well, I hope that you have some tissues nearby, because you are gonna laugh your ass off at this one.
Do I have tissues or I should have toilet paper? I'm just wondering because
either one's fine.
Okay. Apparently,
there's a pastor in Pennsylvania. The title reads, "Priest's anger with God caused him to download child porn."
Oh my God.
Yep. Apparently, Kevin.
God made me. That's the weirdest. God made me do it.
Yes. Oh, well.
I'm surprised he didn't say the devil made me do it.
I know. Kevin Gugliotta, a former Catholic priest in Honesdale, Pennsylvania, reportedly told authorities that he downloaded porn to get revenge on God, who he blamed for his gambling losses. Apparently, Gugliotta, 55, of Mahwah, New Jersey, was arrested in September 2016 after a month-long investigation. He was eventually charged with 20 counts of child porn and 20 counts of dismissing images of children involved in sexual acts. He pleaded guilty on one count of I cannot read that word. He's pretty much selling it out in return for the other 39 other counts being dismissed. He was removed from his parish by the Archdiocese of New York after the charges were filed. Yes, thank you. Was sentenced to 11 and a half to 23 and a half months in jail on Thursday, with credit of 10 months in prison already served as he awaited trial. He did not speak to reporters after Thursday's sentencing, but pre-trial records indicated that he told authorities he downloaded the child pornography because of poker. Specifically, he told probation officers he is a poker player and felt that God was attacking him when he lost his games and tournaments. Yep.
So the lesson here is don't play against God because he cheats.
Yeah, it says by downloading the pornography, he told officers he felt like he was getting revenge on God.
Oh my God.
What?
Using God's PC? Well, that's right. God uses a Mac. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I use a Mac. God doesn't use a Mac. Macs are awesome. God, not so much.
It has an Apple on it.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay. You got me there. You got me there.
Whoa.
Go ahead, Ranger.
No, that was it. I just found that as soon as I got home, and I'm like, I have to share this.
I'm looking at the article here now. There is something I do want to add on to this. It says a fellow priest and friend said that a surprising thing in court for sure. People do things under stress that they wouldn't normally do. So he's making excuses. He's making excuses for his actions.
Yeah, and not to be mean, but I was not surprised at all that it was a Catholic priest.
No, I wasn't surprised at all either. I'm not really surprised at all.
Meanwhile, the fellow priest says, "I need to go home and he's going to wipe some stuff off his computer."
Yeah, probably. It's like, oh yeah, well he was the computer. I better do mine real quick here.
Dang it! I sent him
How
some
do
of those.
how do you get revenge on God by downloading child porn? I don't understand. I don't see the connection. That makes literally no sense whatsoever.
I thought the only way to blaspheme God from a religious sense was just to blaspheme him.
Well, I heard something about this a number of years ago, and there's more to it than just saying I don't believe in the Holy Ghost and all that. There's actually supposed to be some more to that, actually.
Do I need to take notes?
You know, I'm reading this thing, and also it says this guy was accused, before he was a priest, he was accused of molesting a 16-year-old boy.
Yeah.
It says prior to his ordination, he was a private sector engineer and a Boy Scout leader. When he became a priest, he served for years in various parishes, including a long stint as chaplain to a youth group.
Ugh. So was he blaming God then, too, when he was molesting this 16-year-old boy?
Maybe.
I'm going to get even with you, God. You see this little 16-year-old boy over here? Well, I'm going to molest him right in front of you. Ha ha. Please.
And then the guy only gets 11 to 23 months or something?
Yeah, 10 months while he was waiting for...
He got 10 months credit because he was awaiting trial, but he was sentenced to 11 and a half to 23 and a half months in jail.
Yeah. So he's only going to get another 10 months in jail. So he's going to get another year in jail, roughly, give or take.
That's it.
Yeah. So 2 years. People like this, they don't last very long in prison. I'm just saying, they find out that someone's been diddling little boys. It doesn't matter if you're a priest or not. They have a tendency to frown on that really hard. The thing is, I mean, I'm not saying that would be a good thing. I'm just saying that even in jail, there's a code, as it were. And that's one of the things they don't take well to. They find out they'll be putting this guy in solitary, so he won't have contact with anybody because somebody might shank him otherwise.
Yeah, actually, I had a friend back in Delaware. He worked in in the jails, and I think most jails have their own sector.
Mm-hmm.
Like most pedophiles pretty much have their own sector. Like they try to keep away from the other inmates because obviously most inmates actually have children. So.
Oh yeah. I imagine. We got to get out of here. Before we get going, I want to thank my generous benefactor who allowed me to help me keep my roof over my head again for another month. Thank you so very much. I did not forget you. And we will be back on Friday with the Brainstorm podcast. So that should be a lot of fun. So get your pajamas ready and a box of popcorn, a big box of popcorn, because it's going to be a very long show. So we'll see you on Friday at 9 p.m. Central or daylight time or whatever you want to call it. Just look for Chicago at 9 p.m. So you'll find us there. And one last piece of business. Again, I've been mentioning this like every show, that starting the 1st of September, which is coming up here, I'm going to be charging Patreon for every episode. It's not going to be a one-time donation per month. It's going to be a per episode after that. So this Friday will be one episode there. I'm not going to charge for this one because this falls on for this month, for whatever month this is. August, yes. And so this one will stay here, and then after that it'll be one per episode after that. So Friday's episode, and then the midweek show, and then the show after that, the Friday after that, so etc. So okay, we'll see you on Friday. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
And that's a wrap.